Hey everyone, this is Kevin Shriver from Downtown Pittsburgh Dogs. Thanks for watching. Two quick mindset ideas that I want you to think about when you are working with your dog and when you are working to try and get answers for your dogs or training or anything that you're trying to work on with your dog. I want you to test your dog's ability and the way your dog operates with two different levels. One is a perspective shift, and then the other one is a physical test. So the perspective shift, the first tactic, first mindset, number one, is to think of and ask yourself this question: if my dog weighed 150 pounds, would this behavior be acceptable? My dog weighed 150 pounds, would X behavior be acceptable? So you have to ask yourself that question. So if you were thinking about training something, and if you said, you know what, this behavior would be, my dog weighs, Y pounds, but if it now weighs 150 pounds and is doing behavior X, will that be okay? If they would be doing the same thing if they weighed 150 pounds, then you're doing okay. If they're doing a behavior that is unacceptable when they become 150 pounds, then that is something that you need to train for, you need to work on to improve that behavior in your dog. The second idea that I want you to think about, and you can actually test this one if you want to and you are able to, is can a 10-year-old walk my dog and handle my dog, and does a 10-year-old child have command over my dog? If the answer is yes, then you probably have a very well-behaved dog, and or you've trained it enough that you can teach commands to a 10-year-old, and that 10-year-old can repeat it back to the dog, and the dog is able to follow many different human leaders. Becomes a very, very healthy thing for the dog, in that they can follow different leaders. Not all of them at the same time. That's almost impossible for a dog to have different leaders. But if they have the ability to shift from you to your spouse, to the dog walker, to your children, to the neighbors at any given situation, you'll have a dog that is very, very well socialized. And the reason I say a 10-year-old is simply because you have to keep your commands and your communication very simple to the 10-year-old, because they can't grasp all of this stuff that we're talking about here as adults, but you can teach them. And if they can then repeat back a couple of the communication processes that you have with your dog and the training that you have for your dog, and then the dog can execute because of the 10-year-old's ability to communicate to it, you have a very well-behaved dog. If you have a complex system of training that is in depth, requires a lot of mental preparation and years worth of knowledge and all kinds of crazy baloney stuff with your dog, and you can't translate that to a 10-year-old, then you're probably a little bit too complex with your training. So when in doubt, just test it like this. If my dog weighed 150 pounds, would my dog's behavior be acceptable? And two, could a 10-year-old take over and lead my dog if I allowed it? If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. As always, thank you for watching. Again, this is Kevin Shriver from Downtown Pittsburgh Dogs. Talk to you soon.